I'm here next to this, oh, no battery, darn it. I'm here next to this giant hagstone. Basically, it's a stone full of these little holes. Sometimes you find a stone on the beach with a hole in it, and it's actually, in some traditions, a special protective stone. And they say it's made by water in rivers and the ocean, that there is an effect that creates the hole. But then I see this huge mountain here of these holes in the natural rock, and there's not other rocks like it around, which also is baffling. But maybe these break up and make the hagstones. Little pieces break off. I don't know. It's a great mystery. But these stones are very special, and they are said to protect you from the hag, or this kind of like trickster energy that tries to come in, and it's like a spirit. Now, a lot of this exists in the old folklore. All these tales of the spirits and fairies and all these mystical occurrences that happen in many folk tales, and they really are there to remind us that we live in a very magical realm, that we are surrounded by spiritual beings, and it's all about perception and tuning in. If you don't believe they're there, which our science wants to deny us this actual fact that we live in the earth, not on the earth, and we are surrounded by energies. There are energies in the earth, ley lines, dragon lines. There are portals that happen, and sacred site where ley lines intersect with other lines and water and create high vibrational healing spots. I think that goes for, it can be as healing as it is harmful too, because some of these lines intersect and create toxicity. So the old folklore, like if I read the Irish mythologies a while back, I actually am still reading it because it's just a lot of stories that really, they have, as you read it, they have an alchemical effect to even reading the names and the situations that happen. But in the Irish mythologies, there's tons of mounds where mystical beings live, and zones where they wander into a fog and they don't know where they are, and or getting caught in the fairy realms, and years go by, and they then finally find their way out. And then everyone has a bard. Everyone has all kinds of magical people who were in tune with the alchemy, the druids, and they were all in tune with the alchemy, the priestesses, so they could help. So everybody had their different guides and bards, and they're ones that played this enchanting music that would put people to sleep, or cause some kind of effect. Like they knew the alchemy of sound. They knew the alchemy of using words for power, and the alchemy of the land, different places, and how it can heal and help, support, and also be, something to be aware of, the energies, and the power of the trees and the groves and the fish, the salmon. And it's really interesting because, it's all over these cultures have this folklore. And there's also newer stories that have been kind of added into our field called, I like to call fake lore, which is like kind of industrial age folklore that really takes some of these older stories and kind of creates like a Paul Bunyan or a character that is part of the industrial age. It kind of takes a lot of the magic out too, actually, because there's a lot of evidence in the past that there were giants, and that's a whole other story why there were giants. And it gets really challenging to explain how the ether we're surrounded in actually is like being a fish in water. We're all connected with this ether. That's why when you have a thought about somebody and then the next minute they call you, the ether is way faster than a text. The ether takes our thoughts and, does things with them. So, and if we had a deeper connection to this understanding of the elements and the ether, especially, that we would understand why there is this synchronistic nature to this realm. So I'm going to be doing a little series about this and just talking more about vibration and bringing it into a context of everyday living, because it's real and there's a history to why it's not acknowledged. There's a history to the mystery. So, and we have a history that we're all given, in the industrial age. It was created, and kids went to school and got their indoctrination, and there were certain things that were told. And I'm not saying those things didn't happen and aren't true, but other things were happening that are also super magical. And when you open up to just being curious about these things, it actually turns this place into a really magical place to live in. More to come.